Welcome and thank you if you're just joining us. This is Qsports and I'm Mumudu Gajaga. Tonight, another World Cup review, the final episode on Qsports on QTV. And we are going to talk about the final between Argentina and France. France were the world champions going into the final. They're the defending champions. And for Argentina, it's been a team that's on the waiting for 36 years. They last won the World Cup in 1986. And this guy, Lionel Messi, has been chasing all the time. He has so many unfortunate circumstances where he reached the final in 2014 and misses out. So many near misses in his football career. Well, this was one trophy that has eluded him, but now finally he grabbed it. Joining me in the studio is a football coach, Pascal Njai. He is in Oslo, Norway, where he trains young footballers on football. Recently, he's attended a training where top coaches around the world, one of them including a Premier League winner, Claudio Ranieri, who won the Premier League for Leicester City. He was with him and gave him some coaching guides. We'll be talking about this World Cup, our moments of the World Cup. Also joining me in the studio is my colleague, Ansumane Sonyasi, journalist. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, World Cup. It's been a breathtaking moment. It's a final. According to people who have been watching the World Cup since the 1970s, one of them, our colleague here at QTV, says for him it is the best final since the last final he watched in 1970 towards 2022. He said this is the best final for him. You've been watching football for quite a long time yourself. How has the final been for you?
Absolutely, he's right. I mean, I've never seen a final so interesting like this. I mean, most of the time you get finals that are just boring. You know, they kill the game in the first half, and you know the spirit has all gone down. But this time around, this is just a history. Just a history. Yeah. So yeah, you've been watching the final. How did it go for you?
You know, my first World Cup final realization came in. Real realization came in 1998, France '98. But I have to say, since then, this undoubtedly is the best World Cup final I have watched, and yeah, quite remarkable.
Quite remarkable World Cup final. It is unbelievable. It was Argentina who took the lead, and you know they added a second in the first half, just before they realized in the second half the France coach Didier Deschamps made some substitutions, and it really paid off. This guy, Kylian Mbappe, was more than explosive, incredible player. His ball control is immaculate. His accuracy when it comes to taking penalties and calmness in front of goal is beyond belief. Pascal, before coming to Lionel Messi, well, of course, I know the center of discussion here has to be him, but let's talk about Kylian Mbappe.
Oh man, he's a fantastic player. He's a player that always impresses coaches and fans, and you know he does things that are very exceptional, you know, and things that you don't expect that it will happen. I remember when he was young, when France was like trying to introduce him to their team, they said there is coming a new Thierry Henry in their team again, and then it's more than Thierry Henry. Believe me, this guy, his explosivity is just you can't stop him.
And if you look at the numbers, you know, he's just 23. He turned 24 now. By looking at the number of goals that he scored, you look at the goal ratio. He's like the next big thing in football.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like you can see that, I mean, even though we're talking about Messi, but he has always been having idols that plays like the way he plays. So in football, you always try to copy people, take from them, your idols, that what they're doing, and then you take it and add it to what you have. And then you can be in another level. You can pass their level, and that's what happened. His heroes were like what? Thierry Henry and Cristiano Ronaldo. There was a picture that was going around in the wall, like when you saw him sitting in his room. There's all over the wall. You can see Cristiano Ronaldo's picture. So he has been, I mean, trying to do what he has been doing. Cristiano Ronaldo has been doing, and then he all of a sudden have passed him. He's just 23. He keeps on breaking records. What he did in the World Cup is like he just keep breaking records, as I always say. At the age of 19, he's the first teenager to score in the World Cup. 23, the first teenager to have three goals in the finals.
In the final.
I mean, I've never seen that.
So your moments of the final, because At one point, it seems it's all Argentina, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
I think they could have killed the game. And then comes in the second half, everything changed. Towards the 80 minutes and the 81st minute, Kylian Mbappe scoring twice, one from the penalty spot and the other one, unbelievable volley. You can't just imagine what type of a final we've watched. What moment is Argentina? The other moment is like France is taking it.
Yeah, I mean, quite extraordinary, like I said earlier. I mean, Mbappe, once a promising prospect, now a well-established global superstar. You know, maybe Pascal will help us with this. I don't know what team talk they had during the break, but it definitely did pay off. We saw a different Mbappe in the second half, carrying the entire team all by himself, you know, making very good runs. And I have to say, without him, they may probably would have conceded so many goals because they wouldn't have had the spirit to really fight on. I mean, Mbappe was just unplayable. Definitely. And yeah, I mean, at just, what, 24, already a World Cup winner, you look at all the records he's broken already. I think, for me, I mean, he's established himself now as one of the best players in the world. And currently on form, I think he's the best player in the world. On form.
On form, yes. Looking at the number of goals that he scored, bar the final, it was all 5 goals, neck and neck with Lionel Messi. But that hat-trick in the final, that's something else.
Well, I mean, just like I said, I mean, he's just a fantastic player that you can't predict. I mean, he was playing with his heart. This final was very interesting. Both two players that have been like on the shadow, like everybody is watching, it's like they both want to break records. So that was the most important, interesting part of this tournament, the final. You know, Mbappe wants to be the youngest player to win the World Cup for his country. And then Messi wants to be the next Maradona to win the World Cup for his country.
For his country.
So it was quite
there was
interesting.
a lot at stake.
Yeah. So it was really, really interesting. I mean, you can't just deny that Mbappe is a fantastic player. He improvises moments. You can see the third goal that he scored.
The equalizer in the extra time.
Yes. You can see that. No, that was the second goal.
The second goal.
You can see that when the moment he gets the ball up, he already knew what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Because in football.
Quick thinking.
Yes, in football, when you want to pass, there's a formula called, a formula for passing. When you want to receive a pass, it's called space equals to time, time equals to quality. He create the space, got the time, give a quality.
Quality.
Yeah.
So that's the formula for passing. Space equals to time, time equals to quality. He create the space, boom, create the space, and then he got the time.
Yeah.
Fantastic goal.
Fantastic goal. Let's talk about Lionel Messi. Well, this is a player who's been through a lot. At some point, in fact, he quit the national team because of the lots of criticism he gets from the Argentina fans and also even the media and the pundits alike. You know, because they think Maradona did it, why can't he did it? Because, you know, all the praises where he's been a fantastic player, he's winning Champions League for Barcelona, he's been a very good career of that team, that's clubs. But when it comes to the national team, he hasn't achieved much until lately. Yes, he won the Copa America, which is also another trophy at international level. But winning the World Cup, this has really elevated his status quite at another level.
Well, yeah, Messi is a genius. And people like Messi are really hard to see in this generation. He's humble, he does what he wants to do, and he listens, despite of his name and everything. But, I mean, you can see that the coach brought him back to the national team. There's a reason for it. I mean, in coaching, there are 2 things that a coach has to have, which is personality and relationship. These are the two main important things as a coach. You have to have a great personality. You have to have a good relationship with your players.
Players as well.
Yeah.
So you give the player confidence. Whatever he or she wants to do, you are the coach. You give him the confidence. You can see when Messi was in Barcelona, the confidence that he had. Everybody was like, oh, Messi doesn't lose the ball. Because there's a reason why he doesn't lose the ball. Because he has something that none of the players have, which is every step, as from today, when you're watching him again, watch it properly. Every step that Messi takes, he's going to touch the ball. And that is very rare for a football player to know how to do it. Every step. If you want to, that's why he creates a lot of set pieces. If you watch it all over again,
he wins a lot of fouls.
Exactly. Yeah. Because, do you know why? Every step that he touched the ball, you want to touch the ball, you're going to meet his foot there. And that's going to be a foul.
Foul.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between him and the rest of the players in the world. It's very hard. You can see that there are few players that can do that. Phil Foden can do that. He created a lot of set pieces for Man City. You know, Hazard, when he was when he was in his pitch, he usually do it. Yeah. So these are the kind of things, that qualities that a player should have if you are a schemer, like a number 10. Because in any moment, because nowadays coaches are not looking for good players. They are looking for sharp players, players that can make a difference. And Messi can make a difference at any time, any moment.
Well, there is an aspect of his game, that we have to talk about. Lately, when he realizes that he's 35, he slowed the pace down. He reduced the running. All that he works on, for the most part, is his intelligence, his passing accuracy, and his visibility to be able to know where to be on the right time and the right place. As he talks about, when he gets the ball, he's always makes sure that the ball is almost next to his feet.
It hardly leaves his feet. I have to say that's a very, very good observation he's made. I mean, yeah, he's catching up with age, of course, obviously. So I think Messi, for me, is a once-in-a-generation type of player, whether you like him or not, whether you support the team he's on or not. You just have to give him that. He's a genius, like you said. And yes, I mean, like you talked about earlier, the criticism he received from his home country, I can understand why. Individually, he's won more individual accolades than any other player in history. And one would expect for a footballing nation, footballing-loving country like Argentina, I mean, where you have one of the players who, in my opinion, is probably one of the best the game has ever seen, Maradona. I mean, naturally, you would expect that they would want to see Messi also winning something with the national team. Yes, the Copa America came after losing 2 finals in a row. Finally, he won. But the World Cup is one trophy that has always eluded Argentina, I mean, since Maradona. So I have to say, Messi, for me, I don't think we would see a player like him anytime soon.
Well, Pascal, you're a coach. When it comes to penalty shootouts, do the players choose by themselves, or you, the coaches, have to pick the players who are confident that they're going to take penalties? The way we saw the penalty shootout, it appears on the cards, yes, we're not fortune tellers, but many people believe if it gets to penalties, Argentina slightly stands a better chance because of their goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez.
Well, you know, in every club or country or anywhere you're coaching, you always have some people that are responsible for set pieces. And penalties are just like set pieces as well, you know. And some teams do, like, you know, say, you know, like, if you're confident enough, you have to show it on the training ground first. Because these things doesn't come like just like that.
No. So you must be a good penalty taker at the training ground.
Of course.
And you must be someone who convert your spot kicks.
Exactly. And then that's why in every team that you can see, oh, you can know that this is a penalty kicker for the team.
Yeah.
Because they are the general genius of set pieces takers. If you can't do set pieces, how can you be accurate? How can you be accurate to take a penalty? Because penalty requires a lot of confidence. So if you're not used to it, it's going to be a problem. That's why you see the people like Van Dijk. Have you ever seen Van Dijk taking a penalty in Liverpool? This is the thing, because the gap is just 11 yards. It's a lot of pressure. Even the best penalty takers, they do have pressure. But people like Mbappe and
Messi, Ronaldo,
they do lose.
Yeah.
Mind me,
yeah,
they do lose penalties. But I mean, you can see in the finals, Mbappe, when he was taking the penalty, he was in a hurry. He already knew what he's going to do.
He's going to do.
He scored 3 penalties.
Exactly. He already knows what he was going to do. So I mean, but if you take like a defender that doesn't take penalties, for example, like what Van Dijk did in for Netherlands.
Tchouaméni as well, you know, his penalty completely out of sight. It really even missed the post outside. So
and it's a different criteria because he can shoot from the long range. That doesn't mean that he's a good set pieces taker. So that's the difference, you know. And then some occasion, most of the time, the coach has his first 5 penalty kickers.
That's why sometimes you see late in the game there are some substitutions. Even if it is few seconds to go, he will bring in some players.
Yeah, because it's all on the game management. Because as a coach, you have to learn that. You have to have a game management plan. If you don't have that, you're messed up. That's the thing.
Well, that's when I say we have to talk about this GOAT debate thing. For people like me, I think it is unfair comparison to compare the generation of Maradona, Pele, Johan Cruyff, if you like, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Lionel Messi. Maybe Messi, Ronaldo. But if I look at the video highlights of Pele and Maradona, in their days, the pitch were terrible. Not only that, there were high-flying tackles, which would have been whistled, and sometimes those players would even be sent off in our modern generation of football. But, you know, they get away with that. And despite that, they managed to score so many goals. They managed to win trophies. So I think in as much as, yes, we love these players, Messi, Ronaldo, you can be a huge fan of them. But what do you make of their comparisons when it comes to the GOAT? I'll start with you, Pascal, first.
Well, Pele, there is nobody like Pele. Pele? No. There's nobody like Pele.
Our generation will disagree. We will say, no. Look at this guy.
Number one, I'll just tell you. Number one, Messi's football shoes is lighter than this.
Yes.
Pele's football shoes was like heavier than this. Imagine that load that you're having. The ball is different. The football shoes are different. The shin guards are different. They're heavier. So imagine this in this generation. The shoes are like, Messi's shoes are like very light. You can see it from there. When you go to the store to buy it. Cristiano Ronaldo's shoes, the Nikes, they are very light. That helps you in terms of like your speed, your explosivity. And then your shin guards that you're wearing is just like a paper. And back in the days, you have to wear the shin guards up from the shoes and then tie it out. I don't know if you...
So I saw some of those videos.
So those are one of the things that, you know, are disadvantage from that generation to this generation. And then, moreover, all these things that you're seeing today that these players are doing, they learn it from them. Some of them they create it, but they don't have nobody to learn from.
Yes.
You see the difference?
They just have to do it by themselves.
Exactly, you see the difference. And there's nobody like Pele, there's nobody like Maradona, because they have a different way of playing. You understand? So that's why when people are comparing Messi and Mbappe, I disagree, because the football style is different. Mbappe is a runner. Messi is a game changer in terms of holding the ball. He's a schemer.
That's quite interesting. So let me involve you here. Now the comparison, or if you like, because what they mean by the GOAT is the greatest footballer of all times. That's quite interesting, and I think that is a big shoe to fill. It has shifted between Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi to Mbappe and Lionel Messi in this World Cup, especially the final. How did you see it, and how were you reading the comments, especially on social media?
Well, in all honesty, I think Mbappe still has a lot of catching up to do. You know, Messi for me is still, you know, by far a better player in terms of things he's achieved in football. So even their style of player, I mean, like I said, it's quite different. Regarding the comparison between Messi and the other generation, the Pele Maradona generation, I think it's highly unfair. I keep watching, I mean, videos of Pele and Maradona, and believe me, with all respect to Messi, you can't compare Messi and Pele. I think, in my opinion, Pele is the greatest of all time.
Of course.
You're talking about a player who, in his days, you know, you look at how football has advanced these days. You look at the technology involved. You look at, even if you look at the teams that Pele had compared to
the players,
the teammates that Messi has had throughout his career around him. At Barcelona, even currently at PSG, he's playing. He has some of the best players in the world playing around him. Now, you have players like Pele and Maradona. Sometimes you would only star in the team. Single-handedly. Winning like 3 World Cups. I mean, it's remarkable. I don't think it's fair. But again, we also have to give Messi the due he deserves. Remarkable player. But I don't think, for me, the comparison between Messi and Pele, I think it's quite unfair.
I mean, it's Messi's generation right now.
Yeah.
You know what he's doing. I mean, you know, he's been doing it for 16 years.
Absolutely.
You give him credit.
But also, he can't be compared to Ronaldo.
Yes.
I mean, Ronaldo. Which Ronaldo you mean?
Cristiano Ronaldo, of course.
Well, I mean, for that being the matter, I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because like Cristiano has his own way of playing. Cristiano worked for it. Messi is a gifted player.
Yeah.
So he does things that will amaze you.
Yeah.
Cristiano have to work for what he has to do. You know, and then I mean, mind me, I love Cristiano.
Same here.
But to be honest, Messi is a team player. He carries the team on his back. And then one thing people don't see, the Argentina squad was built around him, but yet still, he's a team player.
He gives back.
Yeah.
Yes.
He gives back.
He makes a difference. And he puts everyone in the game. Messi doesn't just want to score, but he wants to win. That was his purpose of this World Cup, because he was like, this is what I want. I can't win it by myself. It has to be a team play. You know, in football, there is this thing that there are 4 components in football, which is called, when these 4 components, if any of them
are missing,
there's going to be a problem. It's going to be physical aspect, psychological aspect, technical aspect, and social aspect. If you see the team in Belgium's team, Belgium has the best team.
In terms of individuals,
yes.
and quality players
Yes.
that they have in them.
But what was the problem? There was a social aspect problem between Hazard and
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
And these are 2 big players for the 2 captains, you can say. So the social aspect of the game was missing. So that's why these 4 components are very important. But for Argentina and France, I heard you were talking about how did France did it with this team? Because these 4 components that I'm telling you are there.
They're very united.
Because socially, they have a social aspect. Psychologically, their mind is, we have to win.
That's the mentality.
Yes, technically, everybody have a good technique. Physically, everybody have a good physique. Same thing applies to Argentina. So that's why Messi, they built a team around him, because he's the king of the club, but he was humble to give to the players what they deserve, and then he will get what he deserves as well.
If you look at this World Cup, the final was between Argentina and France. Yes, eventually Argentina won, but massive credit to France. Didier Deschamps, for me, has been a fantastic coach. He won the World Cup as a player in 1998. He won it as a coach in 2018. That's the last World Cup before the Qatar 2022 World Cup, and now reached this final, and it was a near miss for him and for his players as well. I think France, they deserve credit.
Well, to play in 2 World Cup finals consecutively, I mean, it's a massive feat. You know, we all are into football, we know what it takes. It's really quite difficult to even get to the semis, talk less of playing the finals, win, and then come back, go all the way to the finals again. And you look at how, I mean, their journey to the finals, it hasn't been easy for them. They had to fight throughout. And I think for me, France, they're one of the most dominant footballing countries we have currently. I mean, without a doubt. I think, you know, from the Zidane generation of 98, 2006, you know, they kind of had some difficulty, but we saw how they were able to come out of it from 2018 all the way through to 2022. I think France, for me, even going into the next World Cup, they would still be one of the favorites.
France being one of the favorites. Pascal, your final World Cup moments, you've watched the final and other games.
Well,
anyone that would be the highlight for you? We have to talk about Morocco, just under 1 minute we have. So, Morocco's performance from Africa.
Oh, first of all, I give credit to their coach.
Walid Regragui.
Yes. His tactical awareness was like amazing. He did everything to have a good result in this World Cup. But unfortunately, you know, coaches are there to encounter, to counter people, other coaches, like tactical awareness. And you're talking about the World Cup, the final as well. The Sherman, the Argentinian coach, their tactical awareness, the changes that they did, that makes the game interesting. So that's what makes the game of Morocco as well very interesting. People might be watching like, oh, they're playing this formation 4-3-3. But in that 4-3-3, there are lots of changes when there is loose transition. And then there are a lot of changes when they have the ball as well. So that 4-3-3 that you're seeing is kind of like you as a fan, you're just seeing that. But in the pitch, when there is loose transition, the tactical awareness of that formation, it's already been done. That's why you always see some changes in the pitch that you don't expect. When we are attacking, you can see that we have like 2 central defenders. Because football, the pitches are bigger now. They are bigger in terms of where we start to play. It's like divided into 4 in this generation now. It's four sectors. So as you can see, Argentina, the reason why they dominate the game, it was like they always want to play in the third quarter.
So that's so much technical terms for us, and Pascal has been doing this fantastically. We wish we could have a lot of time and we would be talking about the World Cup over and over again. Argentina, congratulations. It's been a fantastic World Cup for you. Congratulations, Lionel Messi. And we have to say, when it comes to being an Argentina fan, what a special way to end the year. And it has been a breathtaking one. We'll continue Q Sports on the next segment. Thank you very much and have a pleasant night. Bye.